If you could change any choices you have ever made, would you? You can always make another choice and change the course of your success. Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of Inspired Choices radio show, Christine McIver.
Oh, hello, my friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, I am your host, Christine McIver, and we are live here tonight on Inspired Choices Network, and we're also live on Facebook. So if you are watching us on Facebook, hey, Facebook land. And if you're not and you're watching us here in Inspired Choices Network, welcome, welcome, welcome. And I would love, love, love to hear what you are thinking about the show. I would love to hear your questions, your comments. Come join us. You can be asking these questions. You can be learning more and more how you can be creating greater in your business. And I'm so thrilled that you are here. So if you would like to come over, you can actually even come live on the audio and ask a question. And I would love to have you join me, because you know what? Actually, the thing that really lights me up is when people are succeeding in their business. Because to me, business is all about pleasure. It's all about play. It's all about having more in your life. And when you are enjoying what you're doing in business, I'm telling you, your whole world can light up. And that really thrills me. So I love to support other business owners and sometimes even kick their butt. So tonight we are talking about how to have your own back in business. So before we get started, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I am a strategic business coach. I have been in my own business now for 13 years. Holy, did that go fast? And I absolutely love to grow myself. And as I grow myself, I really share that with the world and invite you to also grow yourself personally and professionally. So I've had my own show, my own radio, live radio, podcast, and now TV show. It's going on, oh my gosh, 11 years. I'm in my 11th year of doing this. I can't even, I got to just stop counting, right? When you think about these things, it's like it blows your mind, and it's something that you can absolutely get lost in. Especially if you're counting because you're not enjoying it. But I count because it's just exciting to me. And one of the things I love to do is I love to really challenge people. I love to challenge them. I love to provoke them. I love to really show them how you can be vulnerable, how you can move forward in your life, and how you can make a choice that can change everything. And when I learned this topic, and I learned to actually do this with myself, it started to change everything for me. Truthfully, it was the change that I required in my life. And it was the change that I required in my business. So let's get into tonight's show. So how to have your own back in business. Have you ever actually thought about that? Is that a thought that's ever even come to your mind? Most of us are focused on, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? What do I need? When am I going to make more money? Where am I going to get my clients? And we're so over there worrying about things. We're actually not looking at how we can make some choices and have our own back in business. When no one is around and you are just with you, do you stand up for you? Now, I know that's a really funny question, but as I was writing the text for this show, that came to me. And I thought, you know what? I should be having my own back and standing up for myself, especially when that monkey mind starts to take over. And who doesn't have monkey mind? If you don't have monkey mind, you're not a human. I'm just saying. We all have monkey mind, and we all have all of these crazy thoughts that roll around in our head. That's normal, okay? Because especially when you're in business and you're growing yourself and you're challenging yourself, and that's one of the best ways to know that you have your own back is when you are challenging yourself to grow. That is one of the absolute best things that you can really tell. Am I having my own back? You want to learn how to have your own back in business. That's what we're going to do tonight. So you can always be moving forward into the success that you desire. Do you even know what you desire in business, or are you trying to survive? No more surviving, my friends. Enough of that bullshit, because what you focus on expands. We know that. And if you're expecting to just, oh, please God, let me survive today, that's all that you're going to be allowing even into your world. So you want to wake up every day saying, right, what am I going to focus on? What am I going to succeed at today? And where am I going to have my own back today more than I didn't have yesterday? You want to be asking yourself those questions and challenging yourself every single day. Times can be tough. Absolutely. And if you're not having your own back, they're going to be worse. So let's talk about what we can really do to change that in your world. And I would love, love, love to have you come and play with me. Again, if you're watching in Facebook, thank you for playing with me. And come on over to inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. In the chat room, you'll see that on the menu bar, and just put your name in and come on in and let's play. Let's have more fun today than we've ever had before playing in our business. You know, that was one thing that this was years and years and years ago. This was probably in 2013. The concept, and I'm not the first person to say this about play with your business, but it was the first time for me that I actually leaned in to playing with my business. I always thought business had to be so damn serious. And yeah, you know, you need to take it serious, but you don't have to be serious all the time. What if you actually took play seriously? What if you actually took laughter seriously? I seriously want to laugh. I want to find things to make me laugh. Right? When we take that seriously, we can change everything. I recall a story about a person who found out that their body, they were diagnosed, they had a diagnosis of cancer. And they decided, they were determined that they were never, ever, ever going to get serious and worry about it. They filled their life, they filled their days with laughter. They started to heal what was going on in their body by what they were ingesting, by what they were consuming. So what if you were actually changing what you were consuming, or allowing yourself, let's put it that way. What if you actually changed what you were allowing yourself to consume? Do you understand how much that can actually change things for you? It is gargantuous. We know what we put into our body, what we swallow, what we drink, what we breathe in. You know, we can be breathing in toxins. Well, the thoughts that we take in, the things that we read, the things that we listen to, the people that we associate with, they can be toxic for us as well. You are the only one that can determine what that is that you are taking in. Is this contributing to me? Is this toxic? Is this something that is going to actually add to my life? Is this something that's going to add to my business? And this is a big piece around having your own back in business. So again, this is a question. Put it on a Post-it note, put it at your computer, put it wherever you're working, maybe put it in your car. Am I having my own back today? Do I have my own back today? Make that part of a question that you're challenging yourself. You know, as many of you know, I am a coach and I'm a strategic business coach. And so I will challenge people over and over and over again. All of the hosts, I am the founder of Inspired Choices Network, and I will challenge them as well. Every single solitary one of the hosts, I will challenge them. And they know that I'm going to challenge them. And I know that I'm going to challenge them so that they can expand and grow and get even greater. Well, this is exactly what you, each and every one of us, should be doing for ourselves, is to challenge ourselves. That should be part of your everyday. You are your first coach. You are your first coach. And if you have not actually hired a coach who challenges you, who really will maybe even tick you off big time, then you are not allowing yourself to grow as much as you possibly can. And I say that from the space of being a client, not just from being a coach. I know what coaches have done for me. Now, sometimes we can have really great mentors. Sometimes we might have great leaders. Sometimes we might have great bosses who will challenge us with the intent to support us to grow, but not always. And so when you hire a coach, they are going to, this is one of their primary things, is that they want to help you get from A to B, not to go back and examine everything from your past. They want to help you to grow, to expand, to go in the direction of your desires so that you can hit those success markers that you've decided are important to you. When you are willing to hire a coach, that's one of the ways that you know, I'm willing to have my own back. So, so important. Here's a question I want you to ask yourself. This is a weird question, but do you call yourself on yourself? Have you ever done that? Have you ever looked at yourself or said even out loud, like, oh my God, what am I doing? This is ridiculous. I need to stop. And, you know, if you've heard me say this before, this is the way I talk to myself. I'll be McIver. What are you doing? It's nearly like a wake-up call when I use my last name. So you use what works for you, but I will call myself out. I'll wake myself up. I will jolt myself by saying that. What are you doing? Stop doing this. Smarten up. And as I do that, I'll be like, right, it's nearly like recalibrating and coming back to center when I call myself out on myself. And, you know, you're not going to have a coach beside you every single day, but you can get to the place of being very present and being very conscious and calling yourself out. I oftentimes refer to being up here, being behind yourself and looking down over your shoulders. Pay attention to what you are doing. Pay attention to what you are saying and what choices that you are making. And then if it's not in alignment, if it's not going to add to the direction of where you want to go, call yourself on this. You know, if you have your own career and maybe you're not in your own business, please implement this as well. You know, it's so easy. This is an example that I absolutely, and I think most people have gotten caught up in. It's absolutely so easy when you are in a work environment to get caught up in the noise of gossip. It's so incredibly easy to get, you know, you want to make friends with people and you start talking to them and then they start saying, hey, did you hear about Bob? Or did you hear about so-and-so? And you get caught up in all of that stuff. And before you know it, I remember one year, this was many, many years ago when I was working in corporate. And I remember when someone posted somewhere on social media, you know, this year I'm determined I'm going to stop gossiping. And I was like, are you listening to yourself? Like, are you paying attention to this? It absolutely is something that you can get drawn into. And this is where you have to stop yourself and saying, what is this doing for me? You can get so pulled into each and every one of these things that you can get off course. These are distractions. And so having your own back, that's another thing of calling yourself out from being distracted. There's a lot of noise in the world. There is a lot of noise in our own heads. You combine all of that, and that's crazy making, right? This is where you want to sit and you want to get clear with yourself around your targets. You want to get clear with yourself on the direction that you are going, whether you're in your own business or in your own career. Get clear and then ask yourself some of these questions. All right, we're going to take our first break of the show. And when we get back, we're going to dive more into some of these questions and some of the ways that you can really pay attention to where you're not having your own back and where you are. So stay tuned, my friends. You're listening to Inspired Choices here on the Inspired Choices Network. And if you're on Facebook, we're going to finish our Facebook Live, and we would love for you to come over and join us at Inspired Choices Network. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices radio show with Coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know but may not choose that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices radio show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Thank you, everyone. I am on fire tonight, and this is what my producer Kim said: energy level hot, hot, hot. I am, because this is one of the things that for me has been a game changer. When I finally said, you know what? I can depend on me. I have to have my own back. If I'm not having my own back, why the hell would I expect anybody else to? If I'm going to succeed, it absolutely is up to me. Now, do I have help? Yes. Do I have amazing contributors? Absolutely. Do I have people that are on my team that are amazing, that make me look good? Damn straight I do. But guess what? Just like every single solitary thing in your life, it has to start with you. It's all about you. And it's about how you are going to have your own back no matter what. This is critical. Let me ask you this question. Do you know when you've failed you? Do you know when you failed you? Or do you go along in your life and in your business with blinders on and you just don't pay any attention? You're just kind of going through the motions. You know, I was in human resources for many, many years prior to starting my own business. And of course, we had KPIs, key performance indicators. We had reviews with people. You know, everybody would have a job description and then job duties, and we would review what they're doing, where they're succeeding, where they're not succeeding, and where they're failing. Well, that is something that actually, you know, the word fail doesn't mean you're useless. It means you didn't succeed. Okay. And we use these markers, businesses, organizations use these references to support you to grow even more and more. And the whole reasoning to do a review is not to beat somebody up. And if you've had that experience, please let it go, because that was just crazy. And that's the way a lot of the world operated, for sure. It's, you know, that angry boss who's always mad and always trying to catch you doing something wrong instead of catching you doing something right. But when you are evaluating everything, you are actually showing someone where they can grow and succeed. Okay. And this is important for yourself. You need to be able to acknowledge when you have failed. When you have failed is an opportunity. It is not something to be ashamed of. It's not something to, you know, run away from. It's absolutely an opportunity that you can lean into even more. Do you know when you failed in your business? Do you know when you failed in your business? Are you willing to actually get out of your ego and be really straight up with yourself and call yourself on this? I absolutely know when I have failed. I absolutely know when I failed in my business. I have had, I have continued to strive to be better and better and better at what I do when I'm coaching. And I also strive to be a better business owner. I look at my processes. I look at the way that I move through pricing. I look at the way that I lay out my contracts. I look at every single solitary piece and go, is that working? What's not working? When I come up against a situation, like when I've come up against situations with clients who fail to pay me, right? I look at that and I go, okay, yes, they made a choice, but how did I allow that to occur? I've got to look at my skin in the game on that, because there are ways that you can set up your business so that that window of opportunity is not there. So it's so important that you continue to evaluate. Don't just set it up and think it's one and done. That's not the way that you are going to grow in business. You need to continue to evaluate your processes. You need to continue to evaluate what it is, what you're doing, and how you're doing it. That's the job of the business owner. Now, if you're a coach in your business, you need to evaluate how you coach. But actually, you've got two jobs if you're a coach and you're a business owner. Now, I'm a coach, I'm a business owner, and I'm also a leader in my organization because of the clientele that I have in Inspired Choices Network. So I have a number of different hats, and I have to take each of those hats very seriously. And, I didn't know all of what I know today when I started out. I have continuously looked at, okay, what do I know and what don't I know? And I'm telling you, there were times that it was so damn hard for me because my ego was screaming. My ego was screaming. My ego absolutely did not want to allow myself to be beat up. And not that you have to beat yourself up, but that's what the ego feels like, oh my God, I don't want to admit this, right? And there's this screaming that goes on inside of you. It does for me when my ego is trying to stop me from really admitting where I have failed or where I need to change something or where I'm not enough. I'm good enough just the way I am. But when I look at the skills that are required for the tasks, for the jobs that need to be done, I'm not going to be able to do every single solitary job. So I have to be able to evaluate myself, and I have to be able to see that. And I have to be able to, call myself out on that. And that's one of the skills as a business owner that you've got to be able to develop. If you want to succeed, you've got to strengthen that muscle of calling yourself out on it. And when you are calling yourself out on it, you have your own back. What I want you to remember is that business is not for casual behavior. Whether you have a business that's part-time or full-time, the behavior cannot be casual. You have got to take it seriously if you're going to succeed. And if, you really have to ask yourself, do I enjoy being in business, or do I desire to get better at it and have even more pleasure and more enjoyment? There are going to be tough days. There are going to be days where you want to scream and yell and run away, but you don't. Give yourself a window to have your freakouts. Give yourself the opportunity to be angry about it. But then step back and really ask yourself these questions and be clear with yourself. I remember having some really tough days, and I would talk to some of my friends, and I would I'd be complaining. And I remember this one time, a very dear friend of mine, who I also respect as a business owner. And she said, well, maybe you should just stop. And I went, hell no. Like, that was so fast. It was like, no. And I was basically crying one minute, and the next minute I was like, no, I'm not stopping. And she's like, okay, well, then that's your answer. So what are you going to do differently? Well, then my ego started to get loud again. Damn ego. But here's the thing is, I acknowledge when my ego is yelling. And when my ego is yelling, here's the gift. Here's the gift in that. I know that there is a wall of resistance to something that I've just discovered. Whenever your ego is taking over, that's also a really great indicator that something inside of you, within you, is being triggered and needs to change for you to succeed to the next level. So don't try to ignore your ego. Allow your ego to be present with you and contribute to you so that you can really grow and change and succeed even more. If you have a deep desire to succeed, you must be willing to do the heavy lifting in your business. As I said, business is not for the faint of heart, for the people that just want to do it some of the time. You've got to be committed. You've got to be committed to yourself no matter what you're doing. You've got to be committed to your business, just like you would be if you're a parent. You're committed to your children 100%. If you're in a relationship, you're committed to your partner 100%. You cannot expect success when you're only dipping your toe in. And if that's what you're doing in your business, go work for somebody. Stop making yourself crazy. Or get up, stand up, and have your own back. The only way you are going to change something in your business if you have your own back. And these are some of the ways that you're going to start to have your own back. And here's the really cool thing. And I've got a lot more to share with you, but I want you to know that when you start making this determination, like no matter what, if I freak out, if I'm crying, if I feel like everything is falling around me, I'm going to have my own back. No matter what, I am going to have my own back. It's going to get easier. It's going to get easier because you're not going to allow that anger, that pain, that real victim energy to take over. And victim energy, we all have it. It's okay. It doesn't mean anything. But if you stick with it and you allow it to drive the bus for any length of time, then that's where you've given your power over. And you don't need to. That's the really cool thing, is you don't need to allow yourself to do that. I often say, if you're having a really bad day, then be in it. Be angry, be bitchy, do whatever you need to do, but bookend it. In other words, at the end of that day, when you close your eyes, you say, right, when I wake up in the morning, I'm holding myself accountable to move past this. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to do that, because damn it, I'm worth it. And I didn't come here. I didn't come this far to come this far. I am going to succeed no matter what. And when you have that mindset, you will give yourself more energy. You will give yourself more support. You will give yourself the support that you require to get to the next level. Now, there's a lot of other things that can support you, but you come first. It's critical. If you're not going to have your own back, it doesn't matter all the support in the world that it comes to you, knocks on your door and says, hey, we want to help you. No, you won't receive it. You will not receive it because you're not even willing to receive it from yourself. So I want you to change that. I want you to decide right here, right now, no matter what, I'm going to have my own back and I'm going to call myself out on my shit. Because you know what? You're better than that. And you can move beyond this. There are opportunities everywhere. It starts with you. It absolutely 100% starts with you, and you can change it faster than you can possibly imagine. All right, we are up to our second break of the show. Please stick around. If you have any questions or comments, or you would like to come live and ask me some questions, be sure to come over to inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. Join us in the chat room and let the producer know that you have some questions that you would like to ask live. So stick around. We will see you right after this break. You are listening to Inspired Choices on the Inspired Choices Network with myself, Christine McIver. We'll see you shortly.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices Radio Show with Coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know but may not choose that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome, my friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're just joining us, tonight we are talking about, do you have your own back in business? Or how to have your own back in business. Do you have your own back in business is a question, but how to have your own back in business. And we went through a lot of things in the first half of the show, and I would love for you to go back and listen to it and write some of these questions down and ask yourself this again and again. You know, I know that if you were to write some of these questions down and ask yourself these questions every day for a month, you would change so much of the way you show up for you, and your business would start to change exponentially. And we have this power. It doesn't have to be at the beginning of the year. You can do this anytime. So if you're listening in the replay, just do it. It doesn't matter when this show has been created. So when you're challenging yourself to grow, that's when you're having your own back in business. When you are willing to hire a coach, that's one of the ways you know you're having your own back in business. And you need to continue to evaluate what you do and how you're doing it. Those are just some of the points that we made in the first half of the show. Now, if you are someone that's in your own business and you're looking for support, you're looking for somebody who's going to care about you, who's going to be an amazing cheerleader for you in your business, and who's going to hold you accountable and make you stretch to really assist you to go in the direction you want to go, give me a call. You can call me, you can email me, you can instant message me, direct message me. You can find me all across social media or my email, Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. And if you're someone who is thinking about having your own live radio show, having your own TV show, or having your own podcast show, you want to reach out to me. I've got a brand new free course that's going to be ready very, very shortly that you can learn how to do audio and video and incorporate all of this into your own business. So again, email me, Christine@InspiredChoices.ca, and I would love to connect with you. We'll have a short conversation to see if it's a match, and then let's grow you and your business forward, because you know what? You deserve it, right? You absolutely do. All right, let's get back to the show. I have a big question for you, and it might be a really hard question. excuse me, my nose is itchy. It might be a really hard question, and it might be something that's a little bit difficult for you to admit, but have you ever gotten really vulnerable with a coach? Really vulnerable. I mean, like you're falling apart in front of them. Or are you one of these people that will only show what you can control, right? Control is such a pile of shit. We think that if I can control everything, then I will actually create everything. That's absolutely the wrong thing. Now, I heard this told in lots of different ways, but this is really cool. If you imagine the biggest creation in the world, which is creating another human body, can you imagine somebody being in control when they're trying to actually procreate? That you're so out of control when you want to get to that space of procreating. That is not something that is clean and neat and you can control in a little box. I guess if you're not doing it the usual way, that maybe it's a little more controlled. But seriously, that is one of the greatest ways, and you're not getting there by being in control. So when you are willing to get vulnerable with a coach, and you're really willing to look at everything, all the messy bits, all the crazy bits, all the excuses, all of the distractions, all of the bullshit that is holding you down, that's when you can start to really change something. What about, have you ever gotten to the point of being so embarrassed that you could feel yourself not walking, but running away, screaming from being with someone, from being with a coach? When you are at that space where you can feel yourself wanting to run away, I want to challenge you to lean in and say, right now, I want to run away from you. I don't want to look at this. That coach will be right there. They'll be so present with you. And this is a huge way of knowing that you have your own back. When you are willing to like sweat and cry, and you're willing to just throw up all of the craziness that's going on inside of you, you know you have your own back. You know, going for counseling, going for coaching, having any kind of support where people are looking deep within what's going on in your world, that is a place of deep vulnerability and huge, huge courage. It's huge when you're willing to get like that. You have to know that if you want something new, you have to do something new. You have to do something new. If you know that there is more opportunities out there, that there's more wealth, that there is more places where you can expand and grow, you've got to be willing to try something new. You've got to be willing to evaluate yourself, not once, not twice, but continuously be in that space of evaluation, and not from the space of judging you. That's a pile of crap. When you judge yourself, you're sliding back down into that. It's really easy to slide back down into that victim energy. And that's not going to move you forward. When you evaluate yourself and you think, right, okay, I wasn't as efficient today. I allowed myself to get distracted. I wasn't paying attention to my targets for the day. I got pulled into some drama and trauma, and I completely let my business just sit there with no absolute focus on where I wanted to go. It happens. It's okay, but call yourself on it. Evaluate, what did you do today? Did you hit your targets? Do you have a list of things that you want to hit? You know, I can remember, talk about control. I have had many control issues in my life. I'm one of these people that I love at the end of the day to have just a very few handful of emails in my inbox, because I feel like I'm in control. And then I think to myself, well, Christine, if you want to grow your business and you want to have so much traffic that your business is full and there's people on waiting lists, you're going to have a lot more emails in your inbox. So you need to learn how to manage more emails. You need to learn how to move through these challenges so that you can receive even more. So see, I call myself all the time. Well, there's so many times that that I have wanted to make sure that things were done a certain way, that I wouldn't let go of the reins, especially with my team. It's hard for me, but I know that. I know that about myself, and I call myself out on it, and I let my team know, hey, this is not easy for me. This is tough for me. And I want you to know that I'm going to be looking at things. And until I am able to get over it, I don't want you to think that I don't trust you. All right. This is not necessarily about you. This is also about me, because we're both growing together. I'm willing to have those courageous conversations because I have my own back. Now, a few months back, I can't even remember what it was, I did a whole series on courageous conversations, and courageous conversations about money, courageous conversations with your team. And those, when you are willing to have a courageous conversation, even if you're crying through it, when you're willing to continue to exercise that muscle of having those courageous conversations, you have your own back. If you're not great at having courageous conversations, get great at it. A business owner is going to have courageous conversations at some point. You don't come out of the womb knowing how to have those conversations. These are things, though, that you can learn. And so having a courageous conversation and is showing somebody else that you also honor them and you respect them enough to get uncomfortable so you can both move forward, especially with your team. That is one of the best ways that you know you have your back, is when you're willing to have those courageous conversations with your team. Success is not as hard as we make it out to be. Success is not as hard as we make it out to be. When you put yourself into a rhythm of setting your targets, of setting your tasks for the day, of holding yourself accountable to where you need to grow, and stretching your targets and stretching, success is going to come. Are you looking at just the great, big, huge successes, or are you acknowledging your daily successes? Are you acknowledging where you are accomplishing? Are you acknowledging those great conversations? Like having a courageous conversation, even if you cry all the way through it, getting through it and moving forward, that's something to celebrate. That energy of success, that energy of celebration will actually contribute. That it's an energy that surrounds you, that's going to contribute to you, especially when you're back in another challenge. But it's also going to be fuel to move you forward in having your own back. So let me ask you this. Have you ever gotten naked with yourself, with all of the chaos with you and your business? Be willing to be fully exposed to at least one person who will hold you accountable. When you're willing to be fully exposed, you are willing to have your own back. How amazing. This is such an amazing experience to have someone who's strong and who cares about you, who has your back and holds you accountable to move forward. Not somebody, I've had coaches where they're like, yeah, okay, that's okay, Christine, that you didn't do that and all that. No, I need somebody that's going to hold me accountable. And so do you. Every single person needs someone that's going to hold them accountable and create a safe space for them to get so damn vulnerable. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to hire a coach that's going to support you in all of these ways? When you are, you absolutely know that you are having your own back. Here's something that's so important, and then we're going to go for our last break of the show. Stop telling your bestie what's wrong. Stop telling your bestie what's wrong. They are as successful as you are. Your besties are as successful as you are. You know that the people you surround yourself to, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're not going to grow. Surround yourself with people who stretch you. Surround yourself, even if it's listening to podcasts, reading books, surround yourself with those people. And don't go to your best friend or go to your mom to help you to succeed. They are not going to give you any gold nuggets to change anything. Absolutely go if you need love, but don't go to those people that are going to coddle you. You don't need to be coddled. You need to be held accountable, and you need to be encouraged to grow. That's where you're going to know that you have your own back in business. All right, my friends, it's time for our final commercial of the show. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you are enjoying this show. I am absolutely enjoying sharing all of this with you, and I look forward to seeing you after the break. You're listening to Christine McIver on Inspired Choices here on the Inspired Choices Network. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices in our lives based on our past experiences or what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join Inspired Choices Radio Show with Coach Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know but may not choose that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back and brings all her expertise during each and every show. Are you ready to create the life and the living you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with Coach Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@InspiredChoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, my friends. I'm so happy that you are here. And if you've clicked the replay, if you're not listening live and you've clicked the replay, thank you so much for choosing to follow along and learn all about how you can have your own back in business. And remember, everything I talk about in business, you can apply to your career as well. And it can make such a difference in the joy that you have in your life. And when you are happy, when you're having joy in your life, when you're having joy in your business, you are adding to the bundle of energy in the world that can absolutely be more and more joy. And why wouldn't you want to, right? Why wouldn't you want to have that much success? Before we went for break, or I guess it was in the second section of the show, I was talking about something that we've got coming up, and I'm going to start putting it into the replays, into the text of the replay where you can sign up. We've got a brand new free course coming online very, very shortly where you're going to be able to sign up and get this free course. And it is going to be jammed packed with so many nuggets to support you in creating video and audio content. And I'm telling you, I have so many things that I want to share. It's just bursting. So I'm excited to share with you. This program is called Do This, Don't Do That. And you can sign up. You can get this for free. We'll have the sign up link here in this replay. And please sign up. Please share with all of your friends. The first 50 people who actually sign up for this free course, they're going to be getting a free 15-minute one-on-one session with me. And we are going to dive in really fast into what's working and what's not. And I'm going to give you everything I've got in 15 minutes. So be sure to sign up for that. Again, it's called Do This, Don't Do That. Now, this is just one example of me having my own back in business. I am stretching myself, and trust me, my friends, I have got a lot of to-dos on my plate. There are so many times that I would like to say, okay, I think I just want to walk away and stop. But you know what? I have big goals and I have big desires, and I desire to be more successful today than I was yesterday. I desire that at the end of 2022, I can say, look what I accomplished this year. I know for sure that when I looked back at 2021, I was thrilled with the new things that I added, with where I grew myself, where I expanded my abilities. And that's what I desire to contribute to each and every one of you, is to show you how you can do that. One of the biggest things of today's show is what I really want to share with you is, you know what? If you want to grow and you really want to expand your abilities and have your own back, hire a coach. Hire a coach right now. Having your own back in business is knowing where you are and are not skilled. And a coach is going to support you in really looking at this and strategically helping you to create your business in a way that it's going to start to happen. The success is going to start to happen very, very quickly. You can't know it all. You can't know it all in business, but you can learn a heck of a lot more than you already know. If you are willing to step up, if you are willing to truly have your own back and call yourself out on it, if you're willing to be vulnerable with yourself, and if you are willing to succeed and celebrate. A few weeks back, I did a show about celebration. Most people, they get embarrassed with celebrating. They're trying to be really humble and, oh, I don't want to show off or blah, blah, blah. That's bullshit. Stop that. Celebration is like that child getting so excited when they do really well on the test, or they build that sandcastle that they were imagining, or where they bring joy to somebody, you know, that day that they bring you. I'm going to get all choked up. Wow, I didn't expect this. Where they bring you a meal in bed and they're so happy, even though it doesn't taste very great, to see your face and to see the joy. Get that vulnerable. Celebrate. Be willing to celebrate. Be willing to have the energy of celebration around you. Be willing to do something different so you can have more. Remember, you didn't come this far to come this far. You want to have more. You can put your energy into bitching and complaining, and you can be crying yourself to sleep night after night, or you can pull up your bootstraps. You can put your big girl or big boy pants on, and you can start to make another choice. Stop with the excuses. Stop with the reasons why you can't, and start seeking the reasons why you can. Start making another choice. You don't have to do 100 new things, but you need to be making choices, new choices on a regular basis so you can succeed. Allow yourself to be happy. Allow yourself to have pleasure, and allow yourself to grow. You're the one stopping you. You're the one that is not moving you in the direction you want to go, because if you were, you'd already be there. It's okay to say, you know what? I need support. I need to move in another direction. I need to do these things so I can have what I know is possible. And if you need a reminder of knowing what is possible, give me a call. I would love to hear from you. Again, Christine at inspiredchoices.ca. I have over 300 podcasts that you can be listening to and 78 TV episodes you can be watching. There is no excuse. Here on Inspired Choices Network, we have over 6,000 shows, free episodes that you can be listening to and growing from. You have no excuses. Stop this. Stop the bullshit and start having your own back. Next week, we're going to be talking about, do you take action on what your business requires? I'm going to challenge you to really look at things in a new way. Remember, my friends, you can change anything when you make the choice. Start to take action and have your own back on every single solitary thing, and watch the pleasure grow. Until next week, I want you to remember, you can always make another choice. Take good care of yourself, and remember, celebrate you because you deserve it. Until next week, bye for now, my friends.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Inspired Choices Radio Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, be willing to choose what you really desire. This is your life, making the choices that bring you all that you desire.
See you next week.